evening, the world. Hola, bonsoir. Wherever you are and wherever you may be joining us from. My name is Emmanuel Bansi, host of the People Who Inspire, simply PWI, here on YouTube and wherever you might be watching this right now. My name is again Emmanuel Bansi, host of the PWI Convo. And today in our May-June series of PWI, we are featuring an incredible asset to the global music and entertainment industry. One who you will love to listen to him perform, sing, and demonstrate his crafts in terms of arts and music. My dear friend, Guy Bertrand. Now, before I give you a little background of the young man who is shaping and shaking the world by storm, I would like to give you a little time to invite a dear friend to be part of this conversation. So share the link with somebody and make sure you are not the only one being inspired by this conversation. We'll be right back. Welcome back, and in this May edition of People Who Inspire, of course, I already introduced him, but I will officially give you a little background about our guest for today. Guy is an amazing and impressive individual who is leading a positive change in his industry. And of course, he's a Cameroonian-born contemporary artist and filmmaker. I will say filmmaker because of his production work. And of course, he's also an educator. He has been training other young people who have interest in music and opera. All right. And of course, his powerful work explores themes like identity, art, even what he's wearing today was inspired by him. And most importantly, his social transformational work that includes his ambition to traveling, impacting, and upgrading his intellectual capacities. And most importantly, he is married with 2 children. Yes. And of course, he's a core member of the Lumina and Accra Symphony Orchestra. His recent event includes, well, I think it would be best if he tells us about that. Now let's officially welcome, drum rolling, Mr. Guy Bertrand to the PWI Convo. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And how are you doing today?
I'm very fine. I'm doing so great. And after this powerful introduction, I'm just more appreciative and then very fine.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
You look excellent. Tell us about your beautiful, wonderful dress.
Well, fine. I have a tailor that I visit most of the time. And when I go to him, I try to design what I want him to do for me. And always he succeeds on what to do.
Wonderful. So you design it for him, then he does it.
Yes.
He must be good to actually deliver your work. Because
it's not easy to, but he tries his best, yes. And every time I will always tell him, no, I want this way. And then when he finishes, and I say, no, this is not nice. Start again. Do this.
Wonderful, wonderful. So for our icebreaker, each time I watch you sing and perform on stage, I go like, God, this guy is good. What would be a good opening for People Who Inspire tonight?
This is just like taking me unaware. Well, what can I do? Just one pitch, and then maybe we continue.
Okay, we're ready. Oh my God! Wow! Wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive. That's impressive. Now, our topic for discussion this week is mastering your crafts from local roots to global impact. Or let me simply put it this way, from a small town performance to a global stage.
Okay.
Once again, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, tell us, you are originally from Cameroon.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, part of what you do internationally has brought you to Ghana. Do you live in Ghana? And how did your transition from Cameroon to Ghana came about?
Yeah, I think first of all, I'll say it's the doing of the Lord, because sometimes you may want to be somewhere else or whatever, and He chooses that this is where you are going to be, and this is how you are going to continue your life. So I will, as you are saying, I'm a Cameroonian, and I started singing when I was in Cameroon, very little. And I joined a lot of choirs and other stuff. I was trained by a lot of choir masters. I was trained by a lot of other opera singers. And I find myself in Ghana, working in Ghana, and with an American company. And later on, it wasn't working. I wasn't doing music actually at that time. I was just doing music on the side. So when the company relocated back to US, I just decided, okay, let me continue with my music stuff, because I am not only I was even that time not with Lumina yet. I was on my own singing, and I've formed from that time a choir called Grace Choral International, which I'm a music director up to date. Yes, and I was also training other musicians to sing. That is even how I came about with the Grace Choral International.
Right.
So I was doing music on the side and doing my music normally, because I was passionate on what I love and what I want to become as a musician.
Right.
Yeah, and later on, I just met this group on the 31st night at a stadium, Lumina and Accra Symphony Orchestra. I said, "Oh wow, it would be nice to join this group, this team." I didn't even know that it was gonna be like full-time work.
Right.
Yes. So I approached the director at that time, and then I went to meet him, and he was like, he wanted to hear how I sound like, and then I said, okay. I did some audition, just like the introduction you just did. And he didn't stop me, like, no. Yeah, you are very high, you could do it. So
amazing.
Yes. So that is how I went about with it, and I joined Lumina with Accra Symphony Orchestra. And that at that moment, I have not seen Dr. Mensah Otabil himself. But one of the evening they were rehearsing, and then there was this song that he liked, called Canto de la Terra.
Right.
And they were trying voices, and then the director at that time said, "Oh, Bertrand, maybe I think will be good in this song or something." Yes. And then I came and I tried the song. He said, "Yeah, this voice is very close to what has been listening to." Yes.
Right.
So that is how I came about, and then I am with Lumina, and we got extra training with Lumina because we really work hard, in more like 8 hours a day.
8 hours?
Yes, singing.
Every day?
Every day, up to now, we still do that. And fortunately, so with the help of Pastor Mensah Otabil, he paid some professor from US and other part of the world to be training us. We did so many online training. Up to date, we are still doing that. So this is how it came about with the quality of the singing that we are owing today.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when no one is giving you a chance, don't complain. Prepare yourself.
Yeah.
So apparently, right from childhood, you've been preparing. Yeah. You sing both in the church, you volunteer, you go to places, you're even doing your full-time job and also maintaining and upping your game in the area of music.
Exactly.
Now, one thing led to another. You came to a program and you saw something that looks like what you love, and you decide to volunteer, and you found your way in, like you said, by the grace of God. And now tell us how important preparation, skill development kind of bring about one becoming one that is celebrated. For example, we are talking about global impact, right? You mentioned that you have trained quite a number of young people in the area of music and also discovering and mastering their voice, right? How important is that to you? Is it like a passion?
Oh, yeah, I will start by saying it's a passion, and then I believe that in our world, in giving, you receive more. Yeah, so the little one that I could get from professors and our teachers, I'll try to teach as well. And then while I'm teaching, I'm trying to see the difference between what I got from the professor
And what
I'm giving. Yes, and then I'll master what I'm doing while giving.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
So this has been the way I worked about my music career, and not only that, but even in school, when I was in school, I love teaching. I love giving. I love having people around me whereby I would transmit what I have and that stuff. So I brought it into music, and I think that is what is making it happen. So, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, this is an interesting journey for Guy, right? Because his journey is one that you can also connect with, you can relate with. Because it's just like a young guy from a small town or village who had an idea of what he would like to be in the future, but doesn't have all that it takes to get there. Exactly. So his future and his reality didn't match. So through adequate preparations, learning, self-improvement, skill acquisitions, he's been able to perform in a global stage, many, many more. For example, you recently had a program. Let me start from last year's one, which I was invited, and this as well. Now, you hosted ambassadors of different countries to Ghana, and great men and mighty men of God, Father Papa Lucius, to Ghana or to Africa.
The representative of Pope to Ghana.
Whoa.
Yes, at that time. Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. And other
Nuncio, Apostolic Nuncio to Ghana, yes.
Nuncio to Ghana.
Yes.
Apologies. That's not, I didn't plan to butcher the name. So now, that was a great convocation.
Yeah.
It was a great convocation where you also launched your album. And people like Dr. Menzel Thibault, the founder of the International Central Gospel Church, and quite a number of great leaders from around
Minister
the world.
of Foreign Affairs
The Minister of Foreign Affairs. I met the ambassador
the dean of the ambassadors in Ghana to Ghana. Or the ambassadors. His Excellency Maikia. Yes. So, in fact, how did it come about?
Yes, tell us.
That is it. One thing I really I'm really proud of is like appreciation. You know, in life you just have to keep doing. You have to keep doing, and you have to be very humble. You have to be very, very humble. And how did I know these people? How they came about liking what I do? It's just like from one place to another, they see me, they meet me. And I will say by the grace of God, I feel maybe sometimes I fail, but for them, I've never disappointed them.
Amazing.
Yes, because always we hate ourselves for things that we do wrong. And what I understood today is what you do wrong is in your heart. It's not in the face of other people.
That's true.
Yes, so other people could see maybe in a long time, but as in now, if they have not seen it yet and they still appreciate you, you need to keep pushing yourself.
Yes.
That is what I think. And I met these people in different ways. some of these people is through other people that I met them.
Recommendations.
Through recommendations. Some people that really love what I do, you know. So they feel like, oh, you're launching your album. Yes. Oh, let me help you with this. Let me help you with that. Because they believe in what you do. And they believe that what you do is a great thing. So that is how it came. And I would just thank God, because I was also surprised. Like, everybody's just coming. Everybody's like, I will be there. I will attend your event.
The place was packed.
Yes, I didn't know how it how it happens, but
wow.
I would just say yes. I push myself to make things happen, and then I don't try to give up on anything when I have to do it. Yes. And I am so open to people, especially when they bring some kind of feedback. I'm really willing, yes, to listen. I remember I was with the wife of the Japanese ambassador. She is a piano player.
Amazing.
Yes, Mrs. Naomi. And we worked together on a project to support a hospital at Volta region. Yes, she wanted to build a maternity ward there, and for that village. And she came to me like, "Oh, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it." I said, "Oh, if you want to do it, let's do it together. I am in." And then she said, "For real, you want to do it with me?" I said, "Yes, I want to do it with you. I want to partner with you and do it. It's a gift for the community. So let's do it." And then she just said, "I've never seen a person just humble like you."
Yeah, selfless and thinking about impact.
Yes. So we did a concert where also in her hall was only the diplomats. In majority were the diplomats. And they supported the project. And at the end of the day, she made a donation to this community at the Volta region. And why am I talking about her? Because she always came with feedback like, "Oh, Bertrand, this that you sound this way, I think you could have done it better this way or something." And she was just surprised where I was like, "Oh yeah," like accepting what she's telling me. So she was like, "I've never seen a humble musician like you." That's what she told me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, we thank God."
Now, Guy, just before you continue, this is quite something that is personal, but I'm going to ask you this question because I have seen the traits. You are very time conscious.
Very.
You've built some habits that you don't even know when you demonstrate them. It precedes you. Yeah. For example, excellence, right? For somebody in your industry, it requires excellence to perform. Because for you to perform in a global stage before great diplomats of different countries gathered in a room, listening to you, restoring what you have taken a long period of time to prepare, it requires excellence.
Exactly.
And excellence, it requires preparation, and it's tough, it's difficult. Can you talk us through some of the habits you have cultivated over the years that actually has contributed to your success as of today?
Yeah, the first thing I will say is I really like my work. I don't joke with it when I have to do it. I quite remember there was a time that is back in Cameroon, where I was to sing at a funeral, and it was a family funeral. You know, in a family, normally, we are supposed to also organize things together.
Right, right.
And my mom will be like, "Yes, you already said we should do this. But now, you have to come to the place where we have to implement them." And I say, "I already given a task to each and everyone to do his part. I am going to sing. So I am going to work on my songs."
Right.
Like joke, I was focusing on what I have to do that day, on the funeral day. And then the other people were not doing what they were supposed to do.
Mm.
And she came to me and were like, "But you say people should do this, but nobody's doing anything. Do you think it is normal? You always, your focus is always on your
music,
singing,
right.
on your music. Do you think that making this perfect will make the whole funeral perfect?"
Right.
Then I told her that if one thing is perfect, people will go with it.
Mm. Than when everything doesn't work.
Yes.
Because you're trying to.
Exactly. And then she looked at me and she said, "I better leave you where you are, because if I say something, it's like I'm cursing you." And then she left. So just to say, every time when I have to perform, I don't joke with what I have to do.
Mm.
Even just last year, when I went to US, I was going to sing in one church in Pennsylvania. And my younger brother, who is there, he was taking me around for all the performances that I had to do.
Right.
So, while taking me around, I'll pull up the songs that I have to sing, and I'm going over the songs. I'm going over them. And he says like, "Do you need to do this? I mean, you know the song already. You know all this. Why would you prepare again?" And I told him that this is how perfection comes.
Mm.
If you don't do this, you don't know what to expect there. Because when you are in front of a congregation, or when you're in front of people that are watching you, 50% of your attention is already taken when you mount on stage. Because you have to watch them, watch their reaction. And if you are not prepared, you will lose everything that you came up with on stage. Yes. So, for us opera singers especially, our pieces are just like well arranged. So, it's like you start from 1 to 10.
Right.
You cannot go from 1 and jump to 5 and go to 10.
It's process.
It's a process.
Steps.
Yes.
Right.
If you see a song has a journey. The song is not the end. Because most of the people, they are waiting for the end of the song. The song is a journey from the beginning to the end. That is what makes a song. But the song is not just one note in a song. So for this to happen, you need to really go through the process from 1 to 10, if that is what is required.
I love that. So it means even in the creative music and entertainment industry, process is a stepping stone to the finality, your breakthrough moment. So without you following the due process, it could be boring. It's like preparation. It could be boring.
Right.
It could be annoying. It could be frustrating. It could be time consuming.
Yeah.
But it sometimes even take more time than the main performance.
Of course, because man, you preparing one song, you could take months to prepare them.
For a
even
10 minutes performance.
For even 2-minute performance. And let me tell you, if you don't take care on that day, the months of preparation will be wasted because of one note that you missed. And the whole craft, everybody sitting down will be like, what nonsense musician is this? But they don't see what came
behind the scenes. The preparation.
The preparation.
So the question is this. Of course, mastering your craft, you've mastered it. Because that's why you are sought after by all these renowned great men and women in different corridors of power. Which, of course, you're a very big speaker in that regard. Your initial topic was excellence, influence, and purpose. Creating art that moves the world. That was your initial topic. And then I started thinking through it. I said, you are a global phenomenon. Right. Now, what I would really like us to jump right into is the area of next generation. Right. What you are doing, it takes somebody who has a great appreciation of opera to sit, enjoy, cheer, and go home feel fulfilled. And another kind of person may not really have that deep appreciation. Is there some kind of level of, is it an industry that is appreciated by the rich? Or I really want you to debunk this. It's almost like a misconception in a way.
Listening to opera, sometimes some people feel like it is something for the Western world.
Right.
That is mostly what our African
Beliefs.
people believe. So I think we are, as opera singer in this part of the world, are still on the stage of nurturing,
Right.
or teaching people what music is like. Some people heard me singing before. They thought, oh, it's a white man singing.
Really?
Yes, I went to my pianist, and then we recorded something with his phone, which he sent it across, and then people were listening and said, "Oh, this white man people, that is they are singing."
Right.
And then he told them that this is better than his ear. It's ICDC. They were like, "No way." So just to say, for the future generation, we have to keep doing what we are doing.
Right.
We have to let them see us doing. The moment they see you doing, they feel like, oh, it is nice. I can also do this.
Right.
So we are still in the teaching stage. And even our African parents, so what we are trying to do now is like, okay, this is what they know in their past, like African folk music. You see, last program, for instance, that I organized at the
British... talk about your programs.
The last program organized at the British Council.
Last weekend.
Last weekend, yes. We brought up some African folk music, and then we sing it in opera voices.
Right.
So they feel like, oh, is that the same music we know? We knew. And I said, okay, it's because you don't appreciate your own music that you don't see that opera is a music that you can also appreciate. So the mixture of everything in that night brought into conclusion that music is a universal language.
That's right.
That everybody need to just try and connect to. If you see in that play on the on Saturday, I was one of the part I was said when my friend invited me to go to Plus 233, which is a jazz bar.
Uche.
Yes, my colleague Uche, and I told him, in fact, it was just a way to play, and I told him I don't like those jazzy plays, Not that I don't like jazz. I like jazz. I like every kind of music because I'm a musician. I have to appreciate every kind of music that comes across, but the music needs to be perfectly done.
Wonderful.
Yes. So just to say, these are things that people like, but we also, in doing what we are doing, bringing it to them in the future, they will like them.
Wonderful. So even some of the programs you run also helps in helping young people who have interest in music get to appreciate opera.
Exactly. Even that Saturday, we had some very, very young students who came to watch the show. And the next day, they feel like, oh, uncle, I want to sing like you. Just this make you feel like you are bringing something to people.
Right.
Because they felt they were not taught to do this.
Right.
They were taught to just doing like contemporary kind of style music, and then but once they feel they got this from you, they feel like, no, I have to do this.
Wonderful.
So over the years, even here in Ghana, which I say Ghana is my country now, it's
second home.
My second home. People come to me like, I want to train, I want to be like you, I want to really sing the way you sing because it carries me away. Do you understand? So this make me think like it's a legacy you are putting
Yes,
out. It's a
yes,
legacy.
yes.
So in doing that with them, you are bringing something to the nation, you're bringing something to Africa. You understand? The last program was not just Ghana folk music. It was African folk music.
Yes.
So it was from Nigeria, South
South Africa,
Africa,
yes,
Cameroon, and other
yes,
stuff, you know.
yes.
So elevating our own music to that culture will also bring our people in Africa together to understand that, okay, together, yes, to also understand that, okay, we can do this way.
Guy, you are amazing. You are amazing. Guy has been very strategic. Everything he does, very strategic.
Yeah.
I know he has a lot to do internationally, from the US to other countries across the globe. But also talk to us about some of your impact projects that are geared towards either supporting any of the SDG goals. I see you have interest in health, and quite a number of other areas. Do you want to talk to us about that as well?
Okay. My life has not been easy to where I've gotten to, and it's through some people's support that I'm where I am today. So, if my voice can be used to support this other charitable work, why can't I do that? So I accepted to be a leukemia ambassador in Ghana.
You were?
Leukemia, yes, I am.
Congrats.
I am leukemia. My first album, the one you saw at the Marriott Hotel.
Right.
Yes, I launched that album just for the 50% of the revenue to go to the Leukemia Foundation. And we are still working together to really put up a project at the Kolebu Hospital, whereby we will build a facility for leukemia patients, and we will put up a funds that will also support, you know, leukemia in having this kind of sickness in Ghana. It's not easy at all.
It's not at all.
And then some of the parents, they don't even know if that is a sickness or not. So the center will be to diagnose this kind of sickness and now support as people help us to support. You know. So even
that's a massive project.
Yes. So last year too, we went to South Africa where we exposed the project. And we are hoping that people will be able to support us through this kind of initiative. I sang there for that. And some praise also from there are also trying to push concert, maybe in some other country, like a Croatia country, so that we also raise funds for this initiative to support the Leukemia Foundation project. Yes, just like I told the wife of the Japanese ambassador last year when we were having our concert to support the community in the Volta region. Yes, yeah. I am so willing to do this kind of project for the community. I am so willing every time when I'm approached to do something for the community. I am just okay to do that because we don't know what's life reserved to each and every one. You know, I where I am, I don't know how I came to be who I am today is because of people, and people are still supporting what I do. So if people are supporting what I do, I have to support also the people.
Guy, I think you are also big in terms of appreciating the value of mentors and building your networks. So they say your elevation determines your perspectives. That means how high you stand determines how far you can see.
Yeah.
Right. So with all the great men and women who in your gift had made room for you to connect with, and they has empowered you, with you also giving your best. How do you see, especially for young people who are watching this conversation right now, who are wondering, how do I build my network? How do I find a mentor? How do I also accelerate my growth trajectory? How important are mentors and growing your network, and how strategic can they be? Because sometimes you can just be somewhere and never get access to some of these people. And that is what People Who Inspire platform has been designed for. That you'll be able to connect people who are actually inspiring positive change, that you follow them through joining our network, which you can check the QR code on the screen right now to scan to become a member of People Who Inspire. People like Guy Bertrand, if you are interested in the creative and music and entertainment industry, will be able to pick you up and guide you through a structured entrepreneurship program, right? To just prepare you for life beyond your current reality. So, Guy, talk to us about the essentials of finding a mentor and correct networking.
Most of the time when we watch people from afar, we appreciate them.
That's right.
When we watch them from afar, we think it has been just easy for them to get where they are. No.
Assumptions.
You may approach the one you call mentor, and the moment that is giving you the journey, you feel that it's difficult to go. And then maybe you will just abandon. But that is how he did. That's how he made it. So one thing that I would like to advise to all those who are listening to us tonight is you have to have that humble heart, humility, and be ready for feedback. You have to be ready for feedback. So most of the time when I finish a concert or a program, some people say I am so harsh to myself. Because sometimes I don't post certain things. I don't post because I feel like it's not up to what I wanted. And they say,
tell me more.
And they feel like, oh, but it was nice. It was
excellent.
It was excellent. I will tell them, there's this thing that I saw here that I feel like
you look out for the wrongs. Yes. Always.
Exactly. So when someone approaches me and say, oh, your program was wonderful, and I'm listening. And I like the word but. It was nice, but, and then that is where I'm listening. Because the but will help me to improve tomorrow. The but will help me to improve tomorrow, to know where I am going. Because your true friend is the one that tells you the truth. Your true friend is the one that tells the truth. Because the moment he said, but you should have done this. These are things that you
and it has to also be constructive, because some feedbacks can be more of a damage than helpful.
That is where I am. If you feel down because of some of the feedback, then you don't know where you are going. Do you understand?
Yes.
For me, every feedback is positive. Whether it has to bring me down or taking me up or whatever.
You need it.
I need it. Because it's a low-key person that will tell you the truth. It is what is harming you sometimes. That is exactly what you need to work on.
It is what is harming you sometimes that you definitely need to work on.
Yes. Sometimes you feel like I've done my all. But your enough is not enough.
It's never enough.
It's never enough. Because the moment that you feel like you have done, you have done to a certain extent, at that moment someone is still not tired to do. Someone is still going. But you say you are tired. How will you get there? That is it. How will you get there? Your enough is never enough, because where you stop, it is where some people are starting.
Where you stop, where you think you've made it, where you think you've landed,
Yes,
where you think you've arrived, is somebody's starting point.
exactly.
Wow, that's very profound.
Yeah, yeah.
So, building on networks and mentors, how many of those have, I know you've, of course, you, in terms of network, you built a great network of change makers, world leaders, powerful men and women. And of course, you are about to, let me not say too much. Of course, there are a lot of things you're doing, and it is true the contribution of these men and women. For a young person listening right now, do you think they should focus their attention on leveraging, assessing mentors, or they should focus on being more prepared, and then later on their gift will introduce them to some of those people, or is both?
What I will say is, don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. If you see anything that you have to learn, learn. Learn. I'm not saying you should go and learn bad things, right? But anything, continuous learning, it's very important, because you can only be great when you are prepared.
You can only be great when you are prepared.
Yes. You can only be great when you are prepared. If you have not learned, how will you do it? How will you make it? And stop this rushing things.
Be patient.
Be patient. Our generation, we rush too much. We rush too much. We want the result now. Something that someone has prepared for 50 years, you cannot get it in 5 years. It's not possible. You see one of your dad or whoever he has achieved after 50 years. It's 50 years of mistake and improvement.
Profound.
50 years of mistakes and improvement. Every time you fall and then you rise. You fall and then you rise. That is it.
So Guy is advising us to, especially young members of the people who inspire the Gen Zs and the Gen Alphas, whilst you dare to dream and dare to do great things, you have to apply patience. It's a great asset. And keep learning from those people you aspire to be like. It's very important. And most essentially, he said continuous learning, continuous improvement, continuous quest to be a better version of yourself is what he recommends for now. And then that will launch you to connecting with those great men and women you've always dreamt to connect with. And this is part of it. Watching this conversation of people who inspire with people who inspire is an asset for you, a great opportunity for you to also be a member of people who inspire. Don't forget to connect, and don't forget to learn more and share your experience with somebody. Now we're going to wrap up. Of course, we structured this to be a 45 to 50 or 60 minutes conversation. Now, if it exceeds 45, it becomes two-part message, right? So this is a part where you then share any special word, any special message, any invitation, any program you're running, but also get to encourage our listeners who are young, who are striving and want to thrive. You can use this opportunity to share your message of hope and encouragement.
I've talked much. The only thing I will keep saying, let's learn. Let's push ourselves. Never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up. It is tough. Ghana is tough. Africa is tough. The whole world is tough. But if I remember when I was growing up, my parents and other people were saying it is tough, but there were still people who were making it, and people have made it. So you and I today, though it is tough, we will still make it.
Amen.
We don't have to stop pushing. We have to work hard. We don't have to listen to those who are failing. Yes, those who are failing may discourage you, but what I know is keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing yourself. Find true vision and stick on your vision. What do I want to become? Is what I'm working towards it. What do I want to become? Keep pushing it. Keep working towards it. Find things that will just complement what will make you great. And don't find discouragement anywhere.
I love that. I love that. This is the part where we say Afa if you were to be a Ghanaian, or you say Ogusigo if you were to be a Nigerian, and then Stephanie if you were to be a Francophone. And then in English you say that's it. That's it. He nailed it completely. Now let's quickly wrap up. A life of excellence is one thing. This is my learning and I'm sharing with you. A life of excellence is one thing, but a life of excellence that actually influences others and pursues purpose is the true mark of greatness. From what I've gathered from Guy Bertrand. I think in French we say Guy
Bertrand. Yes. So my artist name actually is Guy Bertrand K.
Okay.
But when I'm in Ghana, people call Guy Bertrand K. Fine. You could find me on every social media. Wonderful. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the same name, Guy Bertrand K. And then you could also find my music there.
Awesome. What are some of your music?
I launched an album yesterday. Wow, I have
congrats.
all sort of, yes. So I have all sort of music. So you could get it online. Just type Guy Bertrand K, Guy like Guy, and then Bertrand K, and then you get all on social media.
Wonderful, Guy. Thank you so much for sharing your voice and also your story and your heart with us today with people who inspire. You've reminded us that art isn't just decoration.
No.
Art isn't just a dialogue.
It's hard work.
Art isn't just performance.
Yeah.
It is hard work. It requires dedication. It requires commitment. It requires improvement. And ultimately, it requires transformation. And that's what brings the global impact. Guy, thank you so much for thinking beyond your industry to now touching the world. And of course, that is what People Who Inspire is all about. That someone's story will have the capacity, the potency to inspire you, inspire hope, inspire purpose, and inspire direction. Till we come your way next again, we want to say a very big thank you to Guy Bertrand for spending the evening with us for the May-June edition of People Who Inspire. And if you truly enjoyed this, leave a comment in the comment section telling us about what you've learned. And also, don't forget to share your learnings with your friends. Share the link, as we say, to inspire somebody else. Till we meet again, I remain your host, Emmanuel Mbansi. Thank you for tuning in here at the PWI Convo for this wonderful evening. Have a good evening.